Hello and welcome to another Donkey Kong filled episode of the Eternal Journey and the Resolves, pouring out a nice cherry cola, favourite beverage. Beverage sponsors the stream, of course. Doesn't actually, but if Cherry Cola do want to get in touch with me and hook me up, then I'd be more than happy. So today I've actually been working on some sort of deck that is playing a bunch of Martyr's Chains, and I was playing for a lot of the small revenge units, so you know, stuff like Toctic and stuff that wasn't really revenge, but it was just like small units like the 0-2 that entombs to turn into a 2-2 flyer, and it was sort of okay, but you just like draw Martyr's Chains and just wouldn't ever be able to play it. I mean, of course, like it was great for battering the gauntlet when I was trying to tune it together, but it was no good against actual humans, so I decided to try something a little bit bigger. So we can still get value off Martyr's Chains, but in this deck we're going to be using it as an endgame finisher where we're just going to be able to kill all of our opponents' threats, as well as being able to double the power and toughness of our units, which is kind of nice. We aren't playing 12 units really, but we do have Regent's Tomb, which does give us Elias sometimes, and I've also got Wispers of the Void, which is pretty much what this deck is going to be built around, and that is just getting Wispers of the Void, well, into the Void, the Tormentor. But I'll tell you those little 1-1 Tormentors because they work really well with Martyr's Chains. Actually work kind of nicely with Regent's Tomb because they are able to protect Regent's Tomb, as well as like getting a little bit of a buff. When those are 2-1s attacking, you're able to actually knock your opponent down quite quickly, as well as having a little bit of synergy with Dizo's Office because they get a sort of like double duty with the lifesteal ability because the Entomb Ping gets to gain you 1, as well as just having like a bunch of like small lifesteal units. It's sort of similar to when we used to play Colony Matron ages ago, and the little lifesteal bats were just like an absolute pain. Also, as well, interestingly, when you hit Dizo off this, when you've completed like the agenda, and you've actually got a Whispers of the Void has already happened. Oh boy, that's quite some rain out there. Hope you can't hear it. The little Spiteling will come into play before the Dizo's ability, so you're able to sacrifice that and actually just get Dizo's Cabal Extortion thing, which generally don't really want to sacrifice many of these units because they're usually kind of good. So we are playing quite a low amount of units as well, but we are trying to rely on just sweeping the board forever and then just eventually playing Whispers and sort of like getting there with that. So in terms of market, I could actually see playing Grasp of Shadows in the market because it's kind of good with Merchant and Vara, but it can just, in some matchups, just give you like the rocket to the face, being able to buy back a Tormentor and just like bosh your opponent in the head for like 8 points of damage, and that should be enough to finish him off sometimes if you'd be able to ping him a little bit with the Spitelings. Or, you know, maybe in a real pinch, just pay 5 to kill a sight. Dizo's Office, already mentioned, Azindel's Gift, good, because we can actually ramp into it a little bit because we are playing Lost Scroll. I was sort of thinking like maybe I should play Rister in here, but she can't block, so she's not real good in like a control deck, but if it is one that's want to grind people out, like a couple of 2-for-1s. That's pretty much all there is to it. No Vanquish is main, just so we can actually 2-for-1 with Hidden Smuggler if we need to. No Annihilates because we can probably just like slow her down just enough, slow the opponent down just enough, and just play like the suite of partials we've got here and end of the story. So onto the games. Probably going to play like an actual 5-game set here. I am planning on doing another video. That one might be a free gamer, but I am trying to keep up to doing at least 2 videos a week. Okay, well, we're on the plate, which is a good sign, I'll be honest. This hand, it's a little bit of a stinker actually, yeah. Maybe we should play more power. I won't mind playing some Lingering Influence main. I actually kind of like this. It is a little bit of a stinker, but it does potentially get to make like a turn-free Vara, which is pretty good actually. So let's Crest here. Paul's going to bottom it if it's not power. Makto's good, but if we just get stuck on 2, I mean, eventually we can Lost Scroll. Yeah, if we just get stuck, it's just awful. I do like Makto as well, just because I prefer recursive threats if I'm going to be playing something like Chains. Just so we can get like really good value off the actual double in size. Well, I guess we scouted one to the bottom and drew it anyway. So that's even better that we didn't draw one. So if we draw like an underplated power here, actually I'm probably just not going to play Smuggler in that case. I'll probably just like Lost Scroll plus whatever. Okay, so this is kind of perfect. We'll Lost Scroll first. We do need the Shadow. We need to get up to quad Shadow first for Whispers, and then quad Justice can happen later. Yeah, keep more merchants. Merchants are good. It's not a power, which is sort of fun, but... Oh, yes, I'll take it. So our opponent's going to take probably our merchant, which we've got a replacement one, so that's fine. And then Vara's favour. Do we just play Vara? So if they're playing Shakedown, they must play some sort of like beatdown version of this deck. Although it could be like a Nightfall. So this gets up to the next power. So it's sort of interesting. So I'm not going to mess about. I'm just going to grab Gavel straight away. I've got a feeling that our opponent is playing Reanimator, and they're playing Nightfall cards because it lets them sort of keep their the looter turned on. Okay, so going Fnatic, that's sort of as expected. Okay, so Banner's good here. I'm just going to play Makto, to be honest. Just get 2 blockers, stop our opponent from drawing free. In what our opponent's playing, they could have access to Burglarize. Okay, well, Winner's Grasp's fine. I will trade her, because this will have Void Bound. Okay, Winner's Grasping them both. Sort of fine in terms of how the turn's gone. Because as soon as they like lose Nightfall, we get to wallop them for a bunch. Okay, so Martyr's Chain's not quite yet. We get to tickle him for 1. Let's play out our Vara. Our opponent's deck is going to be a lot worse if they're unable to like use the Void. So it's only turning off like 7 or 8 cards if they're just playing like Haunting Screams and Dark Returns. But if they want to play something like Vara, yeah, okay, so if they're playing Nocturnal Observer, I think we just got like the Soul Read on them. Yeah, so that Azindel's probably gone for a while. And yeah, I'm just getting like full value off him. I think I'm actually just going to crack him for 5. They can attack me for the 5 if they want. I'm actually just going to have like so many things on the board, just with the Tormentor being in here, that's fine. When they get to 7 power, they can Merchant and Burglarize, but we've done quite a lot of damage to them by then. Just need Nightfall to end so we can actually just like wallop them properly. Yeah, I assume that they're playing like a build that we were playing, where they can't actually play Azindel, so you may as well discard, because if you get some way to deal with it, it's bloody Nightfall. Millions of it. Yeah, but I feel so good here. But might start to discard like powers now, just to keep, yeah. Okay, so Regent's Tomb. So they've not merchanted, so there's no real reason to tomb. It's not really a reason to, but it would let us get towards Martyr's Chains and sort of like waste some of our opponent's time. I could also Wispers. Also, just having like actual removal spells is kind of good against the new Vara, just because she does give things void bound, so eventually can sort of burn through it. So this is sort of interesting. If we Regent's Tomb, I think actually, yeah, we're going to Regent's Tomb, and then we'll just sabotage the opponent. Yeah, they got Pitfall Trap. Oh, okay, so you get to draw and discard. We will get rid of the Grasping Shadows. Our opponent can't use it, but if they draw a Merchant, and they should be playing Counter Merchant, I'm going to guess, just because it's good with Vara, that stops them from going and getting. I should have read what that card did, because I'm pretty sure it does something where it does, like, enters play and deals 1 damage to something. Yeah, just slay this, just because I think that's what it does. Yeah, so if our opponent gets a Merchant and gets Burglarize, so I'm probably playing our deck. I was trying to bring back like a Rinda Scream Brigade. So here we go. So like our opponent now has probably gone and got like a Burglarize to get rid of this Gavel. Made it Nightfall again, so this Makto just like never doing anything for the rest of his life. It's very possible that we can draw like into a Regent's Tomb just to sabotage, if that's what our opponent's done. Yeah, summons it, deals the damage, yeah, what it did. Okay, so Lost Scroll plus. Just a Sigil. Not quite what we're looking for, I'll be honest. I don't really want to linger in. Although lingering does set us up next turn to just like start slaying everything our opponent plays for the rest of the game. That's kind of good. White poster, I mean, that's eventually good with Martyr's Chains. We will. I'm not attacking here. That's just like not what I'm into. Just make Martyr's Chains. Now our opponent's got a juicier target for the Burglarize, but it's also like a really expensive one. So we get to Stone Crush down this. That's fine. Oh, this is fine. I thought we were going to die. I mean, the stun's pretty bad there for us. So I've actually got quite a few options here. We can stockpile the power to be able to do like a double kill. Because this was definitely the marketed card because it had the tag. So I probably mustn't have the Burglarize, which means we can actually feel pretty good about a lot of what we're doing here. Actually, doing that, if we harsh rule here, because we can't kill 3 things, but we can harsh rule. We can't also Wispers though. Yeah, it's just harsh rule. Just get rid of this nonsense. I'm not playing a POW though. Yeah, no reason to play a POW. Just, we do get to use them if we keep them. Yeah, so Vara here, we just get to kill that next turn. Actually in quite a nice fashion as well. So just get to put white poster on it. So Vara, wanted dead or alive. Boop it. And then play our Wispers. So now it should be pretty difficult for our opponent to ever sort of get through this. Yeah, our opponent's had enough. It was very unlikely that we're ever going to get through that. Just because Wispers plus Martyr's Chains against someone who can't use their main strategy is just gonna give them the old 1-2 in it. Okay, well, we need to redraw this. Actually, sort of curious who the Martyr was as well. It's like, well, I'm just going to snap keep anything with Wispers in it. It takes a long time to get going, and I'll admit that there's just a lot more powerful things you can do at 6. But I just really like it. It's just really good in games that you just want to go really long. And it's also really good in multiples. I think at the end of set 1, I was actually sort of playing with this in like a sort of Xenon mid-range deck before we had any Xenon cards. But mostly just because Wispers was just like... Harmony was just never beating it like in a million years. I think we'll keep end there, so I could play a power and like go and get like past it, but don't really need to. We'll wanted poster because then we've got the wanted poster out of our hand. We can draw it later. If our opponent like silences this, that's like fine. Like, oh no, but it means that we get to set up with Vara where our opponent has like an actual decision to make. Because if like they sacrifice this to keep us a 3-4, we get to draw 2, which is fine. Yeah. But now we'll just sort of like get to the point where we're getting kind of close to just being able to use our board wipes to be able to do something. Of course, our opponent could just have a removal spell and just like not care, just like banish this or annihilate or anything like that. But I'd just like to be able to set up like some sort of board wipe so we can then feel free to be able to play the Regents too. Yeah, that's just fine. Glad that doesn't kill sites, that'd be kind of awful. Okay, so call the deck and I guess we'll lost score. It's like no reason, it's not really any different.
Will protect the city.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm just going to play Vara just to pop this Aegis. Our opponent can sacrifice this and we get to draw some cards. That's kind of good. We're just going to chunk this time. Okay, so we're at 6 now, which is nice. This could have been a mistake. So opponent finds like removal spell plus has like Vara's Favour, we die. But I didn't really want to leave our opponent just like the Crown Witch in play. Just like this 5/5. Actually, these cards are kind of interesting. I don't think any of them are really good. It's sort of interesting what they can do. The fire one's pretty good in like a charge deck, I guess, just because it gives. It's going to give everything +1/+1, and it's going to have like the abilities. Yeah, just like jumps, fine. So keeping the board. Just going to use all our power. Get rid of this end. My opponent's got like a million sort of like removal spells in hand. Then that's kind of good because we might be able to deploy this Regent's Tomb. Oh, okay. Opponent's just like got that. That's fine. What do we want? Let's just get the Wispers going while we can. So we are going to take 1 from this, but like, okay, whatever. Oh, we're taking 4, and our opponent's going to reanimate something. That's awful. Well, we get to wipe the board, deal our opponent a damage. Sort of fine. Or just tap out though completely. I've got like 1 card in hand. Oh yes. You know, boop them there. Boop. So we might actually be able to get another one here. We can deal with pretty much whatever our opponent's going to do, and if it's going to be ground-based stuff, then like the Spitelings will deal with that. I think I'm probably going to play Regent's Tomb first though, just so that we can sort of see what our opponent's going to do. So Sabo first, so no cards, must probably units. Okay, so no iron, so what is it? Okay. Oh, they must have drawn the mask, so I sabotage with the hair. Sort of interesting. Well, it's going to linger in influence, just get our scout on. Lost scroll, do we really need it? Nope. I suppose we might as well just start giving our opponent business. Let's look at Vara. Could actually go for like an additional point of damage there. Still getting used to playing Regent's Tomb. Is my favourite one. Like, of the... I promise off it. Didn't even get to see our cool strategy. Well, I suppose this kind of did, because I got to see the Spitelings. Okay, so... we're on the draw. This sounds kind of slow, but it just... I mean, it's got like the combo with Wanted Poster. So I think I'll keep it. It's kind of bad. Probably shouldn't keep this. If we lose, we deserve it. But, I mean, you don't play a deck with 4 Whispers of the Void to just not be greedy, so... Let's get Banner down. Actually, I'm really enjoying Regent's Tomb. Even if I do keep forgetting like the Empower in it quite a lot. It's also a little bit of a combo with Martyr Chains, because it gives you units +1 power. You get to sort of keep one of them. So, go on, play a nice quality threat, so we get to Wanted Poster it.
Only the best for you.
Old Smuggler, boring. So this could be like a reanimation strategy, I guess. So I'm just going to Wanted Poster here. If our opponent's gone and got like a Regent's Tomb and they get to sabotage our Wispers, that's going to be a little bit rough. Okay, so we've managed to get away with it. So lost scroll there. Let's just slay this. Our opponent, if they sabotage us, might even leave us with Wispers just because it sort of seems like an absolute stinker. Okay, well we just drew like a better target as well because end of the story is good. We're at the point where we're at 4. It's like, we do need to fade like any sort of hand disruption. Oh, Mask Atonement. Oh, that means they've not got any in the main. That's sort of interesting actually. Well, I think I was going to Regent's Tomb actually, just sabotage it. I was going to play Makto, but let's sabo them, see what we've got. So, Slay and Colour Deck. Well, Colour Deck can go. We know about Slay. I forgot to snip it. Slay's fine. And we're playing Whispers of the Void and Makto, so we do need to sort of like fade a discard spell, this like one exact turn, because after that we're just going to slam Wispers. With that we should be able to protect Regent's Tomb. Okay, so they missed the power gain there, so it's not good. Might Burglarize that if it gets big. Let's get Mono Tormentors. Let's Linger Influence actually. Yeah, we'll keep that. It's going to be very difficult to like lose past that. We don't really need it. But it stops anything from being too nonsense. Okay, so Doom Smuggler gets to attack our thing. That's sort of sad. But not too much we can do there. We've got like some good value out here. Draw a card and discard one of our opponent's Culls. It's not entirely ideal. But we're just going to start making two like the pingers a turn. So it's not visible. One thing I was going to say before our opponent so rudely killed our unit, well, our site, was that actually the Spitelings, when you've got them going, it means that none of the cards from Regent's Tomb's dead. So if you've got like the Wispers going,
Only the best for you.
You should always be able to swear Vengeance, even though we're only playing like 12 units, just because it's going to give you the unit first. Let's get Makto going. I'm not going to play a power, I am going to play a Lost Squirrel. Just because then if we draw our chains, we're able to still play natural powers.
It's written right here.
What's going on here? This is probably fine. Did they just want the life gain? I suppose we'll just like start 8 spacing then. Oh, could have one posted that. Yeah, let's one post to this. It means we can double block it, or at least threaten to draw some cards. But also, we get to end of the story if we really need to. Okay, I was going big. There's that slave that we knew about. Finally making an appearance. Oh, different Makto. Let's keep slamming. Basically unblockable because it dies but it still deals the damage. I'm not using either of my empowered triggers just because we could draw. We could draw chains, but also just like having sort of dead cards that are like part of a combo means we can probably quite easily trade them away. Given this is the only one our opponent's... Okay, that's kind of fine for me because our opponent just like takes 4 or something. I think we had 4 units. We get to draw 2. Yeah, this is a sauce. This.
Make each bullet count.
Okay. Well, let's Cull. Okay, so we've got Merchant. It's kind of good. Merchant gets to go and steal our opponent's mask. They're at 11, so that actually kind of ages away. But let's do it anyway. Oops. So, plus our opponent's miles back down. They go back to 6 now. And they've got no more copies of Mask of Torment in the deck because they grabbed it with a merchant specifically. Well, a smuggler actually, rather than just a merchant. So this deck's actually performing a little bit better. I mean, also we're just like messing around playing against like other greed piles. But it's actually kind of cool. Obviously just like the second end of the story is not doing anything, but the harsh rule. Oh yes, Nightfall. Just treating myself here. It's like mono end of the story, so no please. I'll play it. I probably might just like go and grab the Burglarize to get it back, which would just be like, I would be okay with this. Yeah, let's play Vara, why not? So our opponent sacks one of these and gets to attack. Does absolutely nothing though. We attack Vara. Yeah, don't think we actually make any headway there. Well, if it's going to harsh roll, I might as well just like gain slightly more life. You can't overblock with lifesteal units, you still get to gain all the lives, yeah, and so it's fine. But I'm sort of glad that no one's playing the technology of Steward of the past. Because Steward does absolutely sort of rinse this strategy because... Oh yes. Yeah, let me know if it was the same one. Oh yes, Regent's team. Let's have to treat ourselves, get a sabotage going. A new tomorrow? Oh, they were playing like some sort of solitude deck. Well, I guess they would just snap concede into us eating their win condition. Oh, nice. Well, on to the next one. Okay, so game 4. Redraw that. Is Variance finally going to catch up with us? Being so cheeky. I like this hand actually. Just such a fan of Regent's team. I think it's one of the more playable of the cheap sites. Dresden. They're playing Combray. Well, Combray might actually be an okay matchup because they shouldn't have too much in the way of interaction here. Oh, Trailmaker. We can just draw Vara's favour right off the top. Okay, we cannot draw Vara's favour right off the top. But we can Lost Scroll. Gonna aim towards Shadow just because of the Wispers. Take 2 here. If our opponent makes like a 4-drop, I'll just slay it. Sort of fine. My opponent just sort of makes like more nonsense. Eternity Core. Yikes. My opponent is not messing about here. So we can sort of decide, do we just want to like spew off a Regent's team? And I think this is probably not. So we've got a Makto that can play next turn. I think I'm just going to get a Cull, just play another one. Let's go a bit deeper. So that is the Shadow Sigil that we need, so we'll grab that. So Vara's really good. But if our opponent's playing stuff like Vanquish, Vanquish's Blade... Crikey. Probably going to lose this one then. So our opponent is playing a big ramp deck. This might be like the Chains deck. Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a yikes if they're able to play that. I think this turn we need to take off. If our opponent has a Chains in the hand, we have to just discard it. Yep. So we do lose our Regent's Tomb, but it's sort of fine. As the turn, I suppose not like a million power, so like, well, you've got no cards in hand and you've got a martial line for that you can activate at any point. It's like, fine. Ideal draw for us would be Harsh Rule. Just clear all this up and then we've got like a million cards in hand. Could. So we have to put the power really, don't we? So we can just slay this. I would take 7. It's not very efficient though. We'll play Makto. I'm not sure if that's correct. But if our opponent plays a power, they might just like... Yeah, it doesn't really matter, does it? If our opponent just does that in their entire turn. Okay. He's got a million owls, so we pretty quickly... Okay, well... Got him. I was worried. I'm no longer worried. Oh, yeah, got me. Yeah, Makto's definitely dead. Makto has literally never been more dead in his life. There's also some sort of like... In fact, if that was a misplay, I shouldn't have attacked because there was like a 10% chance where Makto would have just become the top card in my deck. And yeah, it wasn't actually worth it. Except I was never letting the 5 through. Because it's just so fishy what's going on. Okay, so opponent is giving us a turn to play Wispers, which I approve. Thank you very much. Donkey Kong does approve of that. And what's this really to? Let's just get this ticking up. Like sabotage you, take your defiance, it's fine. Vara's favour. I guess could have kept favour because it's good with wanted poster for if our opponent just like, plays like a scribe or something. But yeah, we should be in good shape now. We can grab Smuggler. Next. Right, it's gonna be It should realistically be too big to Vara's favour, but yeah. So I probably was going to make it bigger. Let's do less lingering influence. Guess up to 8. Lost scroll? Nah. So we can wanted poster it. I'm going to grab Dizo's. Yeah. Wanted poster. Slay this, draw some cards. Should also make our merchant decision easy because we've got more cards in hand. Okay, well. Wallop him for 2. Give him, give him the business, let him know who's in charge. I'm going to Lost Scroll this time, and it's just Dizo's office. Once we've got through this scheme, I would like. Also, just like having a removal spell. It's kind of nice. Swear Vengeance, just like classic. Give revenge to the merchant. Yeah, let's play the power. We'll pop around for a bunch. So now, once we've made Alliance, I'm just going to replace it with Dizo's. So let's get something. Might be some sort of owls. Because this is just like a basic merchant. Yeah, so making 4 owls, it's fine. Oh well, in that case, we're just going to make Martyr's chains.
Victory justifies all.
What was that enough? We're just going to make a 10, 10, 16, 8, and there's like a bunch of small units who'd eventually be able to get through. Nice. Oh, donut. We actually played against them quite a lot when we were trying to get top 100. So this sounds... So this might be a stinker. This could be the game that Variance finally stops letting us get so lucky with this deck and makes us lose. But I kind of like this hand because we on the draw we get to Crest, we get to catch up with our opponent because of Lost Scroll. Cull lets us find like our 5th power, so we're able to harsh rule. So I think we're going to keep it, right? But definitely worth a redraw. I used to play. We play against Don not like so many times. Okay, well, Regent's team just makes the world so much nicer. Is it power? Nope. Get rid of it. Oops. Well, there's so many messages, but now I can't find them because the friends list just like bounces all over the place. Let us. We'll Lost Scroll. That's kind of good because it's got the high. Yep, Justice Sigil. We'll sort of even it out. We do need quad for like our finishers really, but Regent's Tomb helps us get the 3rd Justice. Cull can help us. Let's try and find him on the friends list. The friends list just bounces all over the place. So let's call a deck. Try and find a Crest. It's our power will do, to be honest. Crest. Oh yes. So Vara's favour is not a power. I mean, if they're playing something like the aggressive version of this deck, where they got like Hojan, this could be good because it gets like wanted poster plus Vara's. So I think I'll keep it just in case that's what we do. But I think it's very likely we'll just play like Regent's Tomb. We're way away from being hit. Ooh, Red Canyon Smuggler. Yikes. In that case, we'll just wanted poster this. Favour our opponent's face. And just set for harsh rule. I probably could have got like a plate, which would be a lot of damage. Yeah, deep harsh plate, that's fine. We're just going to rule it, draw 2 cards. I think that seems like a good life. That's probably like the best thing our opponent could have done. No power. And we know we're drawing an end of the story. Ooh. Well, at least if our opponent doesn't like put too much pressure in play, we can still draw.
Never stop, never break.
Okay, so we can just buy ourselves some time. Actually, I don't want to miss power. That sounds kind of awful. What can we grab with this? I wonder if there's a way you could put like a power in the market. It'd have to be like a cargo, wouldn't it? But I don't want to do that. Sounds awful. Because we can take a lot of damage from this, which I'd rather not take 1,000,000 damages. I think I'll just do this. So opponent's got some sort of fast spell.
Only the best for
It's going to hit him road. Get rid of chains. Just get Vanquish. Probably fine. Opponent has to use like a spell here. Maybe it's a torch they've got in the hand or something. If it's just like a finest style. Okay, Levitate's fine. It can deal a lot of damage this turn. But can they deal 12? Oh, they got our technology. Oh, sweet. We just going to gain the 2 lives. Just like... Just needed to gain it, really. Harsh Rule here, get to draw 2. I should really like that Loyalist. But unfortunately, we get to sort of beat it a little bit because we were playing with Harsh Rule. If we had like a single spot removal, we can just like levitate it and just play something from the deck. So, I'm going to Tomb now. I could have played like something else first to be able to play a second spell, but I think I'm just going to fire off this. Okay, so Display of Honor and Vanquish. Vanquish probably just like whatever. Probably going to kill the Display of Honor because it gets to turn something into a go. That seems bad. Also being able to draw that Deep Forge Plate seems pretty bad for us. So opponent could play something like a Whirling Duo. Something just to be able to kill this straight away. Or maybe Rizan. But right now is just going to be lingering. Just get us up to that 6. Because 6 power is really important. We'll keep that power just because it's going to help us to establish all of our threats. Suppose got Vanquish and 2 unknowns. Yeah, it's Wispers. I am still a little bit scared of, because I know our opponent's playing Display of Honor, of there being a turn where our opponent just does something messed up with. So I mean, there's always a target for Swell Engines. If our opponent torches that, it's like fine. That feels really good. So I'm sort of curious whether it's right to just gavel our opponent. And I'm not sure whether that's actually a wrong thing to do.
only the best for you.
That's because I'm pretty scared of our opponent. This could just be overthinking, but our opponent's obviously, if playing Display of Honor, you're playing more than it. I don't want to get into a position where our opponent's just able to like end of turn display. This could be a turn where they do that, of course. We'll go to Cull, don't need that. And we'll just gavel them. Just need to make sure there's not a window for us to lose this, because if I want myself to play a charge unit plus like the weapon from the void, that's just like so bad for us. Okay, so now we've got the big daddy. We've got Elias going.
Victory justifies all.
I'm going to play power because we get to gain some more in the way of life. So Donna's probably going to ask us why we did that, and I will explain to them after the match.
Cowards, you cannot hide.
But now I feel pretty safe. I feel like we can just like 5-0 sweep this. Getting Elias is good. So that's all the cards we knew about. So yeah, got Display of Honor. So they did have Display of Honor, so we could have been like surprise killed, which is just not where we want to be actually. So opponent's killing our lifesteal unit, which is probably wise. And just play all Makto's out.
Cowards, you
Makto and
cannot
Makgo. It's not quite doing it. Quinn. It's kind of good actually. So let's just white post to that, and I think we're just going to play the cheaper removal spells in case we draw something cool. Vanquish it. Slay's more universal as well, just like kills anything. So levitate. Yeah, not saving it. Also, our Gavel is just like an absolute genius play because we've got to beat our. So how much damage would we do? Yeah, so we could get +2 damage. So we've got 5, 7. Just can't count anymore. 10, and we get to plus. Yeah, let's kill him, don't we? I think we did. I just didn't really count properly. I guess we'll find out now. That looks like a lot of damage. We did it. Well, over to the Donkey Kong deck tech. I've climbed with this deck, that's absurd. Okay, so, spoiler alert. I mean, this is at the end of the video. But we went 5-0. This deck is sweet. And there are things I'd change. You know, maybe I'd add some more ways of hitting power, you know, so some, like, lingering influences in the main. But I think that, yeah, I think this deck's good. Maybe it's just because everyone else is being greedy and you just get so many percentage points. Like, Adjudicator's Gavel, it's probably a little bit messed up. We did, I think we were recording when we played against, like, the reanimated deck. Adjudicator's Gavel just buys you so much time and just, like, absolutely invalidates so much of that strategy that like, they're just drawing things like Carnage Scream and Grasping Shadows and Varas. You're just like, okay, cool. Block with my Whispers of the Void. So as long as Steward of the Past is still their original self, which is just like the summon effect, I think that Whispers of the Void can do some work when it's just surrounded by like such a controlling shell. But this deck is just, it just felt good to play. You know, it was just like my sort of greedy. So Ray Barker on Twitter last night was asking what is greedy. Maybe it's this deck that's just like trying to win with Whispers of the Void and Martyr's Chains. Anyway, thanks for watching. I've been That Resolves. I'll see you around. And don't forget, Donkey Kong says relax.